welcome to Ukraine Today. We're in Warsaw, joined by Myroslava Keryk, the head of Foundation Our Choice, which helps Ukrainian migrants in Poland. Mrs. Keryk, thank you a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Polish Prime Minister Beata Szydlo has claimed recently that Poland has accepted around 1 million refugees from Ukraine, people whom nobody wanted to help. In fact, it's different. Ukrainian ambassador rejected a claim saying that they were not refugees, they should be called economic migrants. There is a huge gap between these definitions. Why Polish Prime Minister is manipulated with this?
Well, there could be two explanations. One, the lack of knowledge, and that the government representatives, they just believe they have so many refugees. But because also the previous Prime Minister, she was also mixed into the notion refugee and labor migrant. So also she said that they cannot afford to support economic migrants, but actually they are not supporting economic migrants. And this one, it's a big question mark whether they really do not know, or they really consciously using this in the discussions with the European Union how many refugees they can accept and then can support. We are talking about Syrian refugees. So it looks like that this is the negotiation that we Ukrainians are like a part of this negotiations.
Is it really 1 million?
Well, we have some statistics that Poland issued around 900,000 visas to Ukrainian citizens, but these are like touristic visas, cultural visas, academic visas. We can also say about labor migrants, also these visas for work, but it doesn't mean that those 900,000 people came and stayed. Some came, some didn't. They traveled for vacations, they went farther. So it's actually the Polish statistics doesn't provide such information. In Poland there is no concise statistical information about migrants in the country. Because the statistics, we can say about one person. So I want to go to Poland, I apply for visa, I get visa, I come here. I can apply for a residence permit, so then I am in two statistics. And you cannot add to the visas those who get residence permit, because could be the same person. Or I have a visa, then I have student visa, and then I make residence permit. So there are so many variations. Also, there are also statistics of border guards, how many people cross the border. But also, I can go to Poland, I can go farther, I can return on the other way, not through Poland. So then I will appear that I came to Poland, I didn't return. So it's not so clear how many Ukrainians are here. A Polish Office for Foreigners stated that at the end of 2015 there were 65,000 Ukrainians who had residence permit. So it's really hard to say how many Ukrainians are. It's definitely not 1 million.
However, only 4 Ukrainians received refugee status last year of the 4,000 Ukrainians who had sought asylum in Poland.
According to the statistics, it's like each year, 2014, 2015, each year we had approximately 2,000 people who applied for refugee status, and only around 20-something of them received some kind of protection. So, as you said, like approximately 4 people received status, and the rest, like 20 or something, international protection. So this is not million.
Why the great majority of Ukrainians were refused?
Polish government says that according to the law, they cannot grant the status to Ukrainians because in Ukraine the war is only on the part of its territory. It's not on the whole territory. So then Ukrainian state has its abilities to protect, to support its citizens. So that's the main reason.
On the other side, Poland repatriated a group of ethnic Poles from the east from Ukraine, which is close to the combat zone. Why do they need that?
Well, I think it's a part of previously of the election campaign. And now it's also in a way part of not election campaign, but in the image of Poland, because also this is debate, internal debate, especially of the right wing. So why there's a question: why should we take Syrians if our compatriots, so Poles, need support? So especially those who live in Ukraine, who live on the border with Warsaw. So why to support Syrians? So that's why actually it's these actions are more like for PR, for publicity, for getting voters in future.
Do you tend to believe that Ukrainians are like small coins in the Poland's unwillingness not to accept refugees from Syria?
Present party which rules the country, so the Law and Justice, used the refugee problem in the election campaign. So I think now they are like following this argument. So they really are not willing to accept refugees from Syria. They are afraid of the people who are of different religion, different culture. So I think they will use this argument that they have Ukrainians and that Europe doesn't care about Ukraine, and they support Ukrainians here. So, and that they have those migrants, or which they call the refugees, in their negotiations. I don't know. They agreed to accept those 7,000 Syrian refugees. But still, I think they're still negotiating. They would like to withdraw from these decisions.
Is it good or not for Ukrainians?
In the autumn, we had some of the demonstrations, anti-refugee demonstrations. So they were anti-Syrian, anti-Muslim, but also anti-Ukrainian. So they were against migrants. So I think this is this situation when you can be Ukrainian migrants can win or can lose. So it depends from the political will, from the idea how the politics should look like in the present moment, and what is the purpose. So I think the ruling party can decide at one point that Ukrainian migrants are burden, and they will decide not to at least diminish the number of visas issued. So it's very unpredictable. So I think it's for Ukrainian migrants, it's not a good that they are used as an argument. And I know that like for Polish state, they need migrants because they have demographic crisis, they have problems on the labor market, so there's some spheres in which they need people to work. 2 million of Poles migrated to Great Britain or to other countries. So, but still the right-wing, not only parties, mainly more like movements, like people from very from the right side, they use the argument that actually Ukrainians are coming, they are a threat to the Polish economy, they are taking places, working places, they are also decreasing the salaries, so actually very negatively. And before that, there was not much of this negative discussion, but there was rather positive discussion about migration. So I think, and I'm afraid that using this argument that we have millions of Ukrainians and refugees, and especially this term refugees, which means that Polish states support them, it will actually turn the Polish society against migrants, because they would say that why Poland doesn't support us, so why they support those migrants? So there is no support, but still, in public opinion, it could be they could create such an opinion. So this is quite a big danger.
Why Polish authority and so many Poles, according to the public opinion surveys, are against refugees?
They're afraid of the people who of other cultures, of other nations, so especially Muslims. So this is the effect, the consequences of such an election campaign. So nowadays, well, actually, this right-wing parties they get used in a way to the situation that Poland is a mono-ethnic state, and that's only 5% of the society. These are people of other ethnic origins. So for them, they're afraid of otherness, especially these terrorist attacks. They really scared people, and they see in each Muslim the terrorist. So it's like equals Muslim and terrorist. So I think this is the two ways. Like this terrorist, afraid of terrorism, is combined with the fear of otherness.
Mrs. Keryk, thank you a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much.
I'm Beata Szydlo, together with Myroslava Keryk, the head of Foundation Our Choice from Warsaw.